Hi, my name's Kelly Donahue, and I just wanted to make a video to tell you guys about my LuLaRoe why. There's actually several of them, and why I wanted to join LuLaRoe and become a consultant. Sorry, I have some notes over here to the side, so I'm going to refer to them on occasion. First, I found out about LuLaRoe in the usual way. A friend was wearing some leggings. She said, here, feel them, you know, the usual creeper rubbing the legs thing. So that's how it happened for me. She said, I'll add you to some Facebook groups. I'm like, you can only get them through Facebook? That seems weird. And so she added me to some Facebook groups, bought a couple pair of leggings, and I was curious about how the whole structure worked, because I'd never heard of anything you could only buy through Facebook before, which of course is not the case, but that was the way I interpreted it. So I started doing some more research and ran across some YouTube videos. Most of the ones that I saw were Kendra Pratt. If you're researching this on YouTube, you have probably found her as well. And I decided that if I was ever going to do it, I would want to model myself after what she was doing. So right now, the leggings, and I just bought my first Julia, and I love her. Big fan of the Julia right now. I'm sure all that's going to change as my inventory changes, once I actually get inventory, which hopefully will be within the next 3 weeks or so. Back to what I was saying. Anyway, I found Kendra, and I finally made the decision that I was going to do this. When my boyfriend said that he would help me out with some of the money, the initial investment for it, then it became a reality. And I was like, oh, some of this is actually going to happen. I'm actually going to do this. And I knew my job is like 6:30 to 2:30 every day. So I knew that if I was going to do parties at night and stuff, and the trainings are sometimes late at night, I was like, I can't do both. So I decided to just go ahead and jump in and give it everything I have. And my last day of work will be July 15th. Today's July 4th. So yes, I am making a video on July 4th because it's raining here and there's not that much to do. So I made a couple of videos to send to Kendra, and did not realize that they did not go through. And I sent her a follow-up email to one, and she emailed me back saying, what can I do for you? Because a follow-up email to an email that she never got looked kind of crazy. So anyway, I then watched a Q&A with her and Brittany Fritz, and I knew that Kendra wasn't taking on any more directs, and Brittany seemed like a really good fit for me. And that has definitely proven to be the case, and I am really, really glad that she and I ended up together. She is a fantastic sponsor, and I think our values line up pretty well, and I think that's important. So that's how I found out about LuLaRoe. My why, some of it has to do with my past. I do have a past. I did not, and still don't, do things the usual way. Whatever the usual way is not necessarily how I typically end up going about it. So I am a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I have been sober for the last 6 years. 15 years ago, however, I was it 15 years ago? That's amazing. Um, I was arrested and charged and convicted of a felony for distribution. Um, it turns out that when you sell ecstasy directly to an undercover cop, they're gonna catch you. Funny how that works. But it also kind of speaks to LuLaRoe because I was always a big fan of buying things in bulk and then keeping some for myself and selling the rest at retail. I always thought that was a great way to make a living, whether it was ecstasy or LuLaRoe. So anyway, that happened, and after that, it was, as you can imagine, it was pretty difficult to get a job that I wanted. A good job, so to speak. Even jobs that I didn't want would refuse me because I had a felony. But I was pretty sure that the car business wouldn't. So I went into the car business. I figured if I could sell drugs, I could sell cars. And that went pretty well. I was in the business for about 7 years. Went into the financial side of it for 4 of those 7 years. And I made decent money. I made great money. But I was working 70 to 80 hours a week, and I did not want that. So my boyfriend at the time and I went on a timeshare tour here in Virginia Beach, which is where I live. And it was accidental time. We thought they were apartments. Anyway, we ended up on a timeshare tour. And I was watching the guy, and he was kind of mad because we were the last tour of the day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I got pretty excited about the idea of being done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we packed up and moved to Virginia Beach. He had territory from Richmond to Virginia Beach, so it didn't matter where he lived. And I have always been kind of impulsive and decided that I could do what this guy was doing. And so we did. We moved to Virginia Beach and I started selling timeshare. And I told myself that I was going to spend more time educating myself and becoming a better person and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And the reality is that if you think people in the car business drink a lot, you should see timeshare people. So I ended up spending a lot more hours at the bar than I was able to in the car business. So those extra hours that I suddenly gave myself did not go to those altruistic ideals that I originally intended. So there you have it. So one of my whys relates to that in that I'd like to be able to help women who are in similar situations be able to help themselves and learn how to do that. Even if it's just teaching them how to get their credit to a situation where they'll be able to get a credit card to pay for the initial investment to invest in themselves. So it's been not so great to have, this doesn't sound right, to have to feel grateful for a job that I don't want, but that is not my passion or that does not make me excited to go to work. I'm really excited about LuLaRoe. I'm really excited about being able to help women feel good about themselves in general. Through these clothes and just through the culture of LuLaRoe. You know, I've seen so many people's comments and stuff, and there's, in general, the vast majority of them are so positive, and it's so body positive, and that's a culture that I want to be a part of. That's something I want to do. Hang on, let me turn the AC off real quick. Okay, that'll go off in just a second. So helping women feel good about themselves is obviously a part of it. But again, helping women who feel like they don't have options in terms of what they can do to build a business for themselves or to get a job that they really want or would enjoy. So that's number one. Back to the story of my life. About 9 months after moving to Virginia Beach is when I decided to get sober. And a lot of things changed then. Broke up with the boyfriend at the time, moved out, changed jobs about 6 months after that, or quit my job about 6 months after that. And met my current boyfriend. We use soulmate more than boyfriend. So that's when I met my soulmate. I'm feeling this camera is not in the same place it was a second ago. Oh well. And he's a little older than I am, not much, 13 years. I had sort of made peace with the fact that I was not going to have kids. And I was fine with it. I was 32. And I just thought, be able to travel more and do whatever I want. So it's not that big a deal. He had already had 2 kids. They were 22 and 25 at the time. So it wasn't a thought in my head in any way, shape, or form. And a year and a half later, surprise, I was pregnant at 33. And it's the most amazing thing ever. My daughter Mia is so incredible. She is so wise. So when she was about 4 months old, a dear friend of mine, said to me, she's really old. Like, she's a really old soul, and she could have a hard time adjusting to life on this plane. So that's something you need to prepare yourself for. That she might have trouble just being in the physical world like this. Considering she's like 1,852 years old, that's true. That's what it seems like sometimes. That is something that has proven true, and it sounds kind of new agey and hokey and whatever, but it's I do truly believe that. I'm not gonna. She's 4 now. I'm not gonna go into exact diagnoses or anything like that, but staying home with her is a big important why for me right now. She has different therapies, different appointments, and I've read some memories. I've read some memoirs of some people that have, the same diagnosis she does, and versus what the doctors say or whatever, it seems to me that what she needs most of all is gentleness. I don't really know any other way to say that, but to be really, really gentle and tender and kind. And I'm trying to do that for her. I want her to feel safe and feel loved. And sometimes that means that Mama has to stay home with her when she's sick. And some people call it spoiling her. To me, I feel like I know what she needs, and And right now she needs mama to stay home with her a lot of the time. She's not sick all the time or anything like that, but she needs her mama. And so that's what we're doing. And the last reason, my last why, the biggest one for me, is I want to be able to teach her how to do this. She loves dressing up and loves performing. If you're lucky, she might perform tonight at the end of this. But she absolutely loves it. And I want her to be able to earn a living without being dependent on the public school system or SATs or killing it in a job interview. And I've got 14 years to teach her how. You know? I think she would be a natural. If it's not something that she wants, she can make that decision then. But she's going to know how to run a business. So, Deanne, if you ever see this, make sure this company is still around in 14 years, okay? I would really, really appreciate that. And so would Mia. So, that's the biggest one for me, is I want to give her something. I want to give her a way to take care of herself, a way to support herself and give back at the same time. And that's what LuLaRoe does. That's what I believe LuLaRoe does. And that's the culture that I personally want to promote, is giving back as much as possible. So that is my why. That is my story. If you have any questions or want to contact me, feel free to do so. mamamiaLularoe@gmail.com. That's MAMALULAROE@gmail.com. Thanks.
Look at this stuff. It's in me. What do you think my princess on me? What do you think I'm a girl? Girl who has everything. Look at this tool. Treasure down told. How many from her home. What carry around your face? Sure. He's got everything. I got gadgets and guess also friendly. I got rules and what's it cool? I got box. I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be real people. I want to see. I want to see. I can run around. I call. Oh. Well, things don't get too far. Breaks off for jumping, dancing, strong up, not gonna. What's up, we're looking? Stewie, all where they walk, all where they run. You can stay away, son. Just you and me, wish I could be part of that one.
Great job, baby.